Hey players, it's time for another riveting episode of Playing Stupid Games. How long are we supposed to wait? And this is Double D. I'm going to factory news, and I am out on location, but you blow my mind. Hey players, how y'all doing? Welcome to Tea Time with Double D, and it's been a news-packed day. It's been a lot going on, and I cannot wait to dive into it. First of all, I want to make sure everybody can hear me. So if you're here, let me know you're here. Say hi. How you doing? Say how you doing? How you doing? Hey, player. Let me know you can hear me. And we're going to get right into it, honey, because I got some stuff I want to say. Hey, babies. Hey, players. How y'all doing? I sound like Sakithia saying, hey, babies. Hey, players. How are y'all doing? Look, my kids are not here, as you can see, and I am ready, and I'm here by myself. I got me some mommy fuel, and I'm ready to get it on. So let's jump right into it, y'all. It's been a news-packed day. There's a few things. I'm not going to hold you all long. I just wanted to talk to you about a few developments that have happened. I'm trying to, y'all, let me fix my bun. There we go. Okay. There's a few things that I want to talk to you about, but I've gotten so many inboxes to complete my video that I wanted to do yesterday regarding Elizabeth Jasso. That is the girl that is missing. I know that I normally don't do, was missing. I know that I normally don't do that kind of content. So I just want to go ahead and get that part out of the way. And maybe you players, maybe y'all are interested because I stepped outside of the box and I actually covered a viral story that was not politics related. So I'm going to show the video to kind of, if you did not see the video and see what was going on with Elizabeth Jasso, that's in Baytown, Texas. I'm going to show the video so you guys can know and have some context behind it, okay? I had to split it up into two parts, so here's the first part. The family also held a huge... Good morning, players. Let's get into this viral story. So this is Milko and Elizabeth Jasso from Baytown, Texas. They were married, but some people recount their relationship as being on and off. But back in December, Milko seemed to be very excited about his wife being pregnant and they're going to have twin boys, Cash and Royalty. As you can see here, he was in love with the thought of those twins. Well, unfortunately, on February 18th at 4:40 a.m., Milko was fatally shot at the home of a 20-year-old woman and her 36-year-old boyfriend. The 20-year-old girl shot him in some sort of confrontation. No charges were ever filed. And of course, Liz was in mourning because she lost the father of her twins so tragically. But from all accounts, she had a lot of support from family and friends. She actually ends up living with her mother-in-law. But she really missed her husband. She visited him frequently, brought him gifts, and she was also still spending time with the daughter of her husband. She also took some beautiful maternity pictures, and this was a very good... The family also held a huge baby shower for Liz. They were all excited about this impending birth. On August 4th, Liz posted that she will be induced the next day and to pray for her and the boys. Her mother-in-law actually flew back in town from a work trip to accompany her to the hospital and be there for the birth of the twins. Well, when she got there, honey, Liz was missing. Liz was last seen in this 2017 BMW, and the gravesite workers actually saw her at the grave of her husband on the day she was supposed to be induced, but no one has seen her since. Now, hunty, unfortunately, it looks like Liz has been faking a pregnancy. She gave these ultrasound pics to a family member, and they have since found out that Liz actually purchased these photos from a gag website. Liz's father and his sister also came out and said that Liz cannot have any children. Look, now that kind of pisses me off because if y'all knew this all this time, this been going on since December. Y'all couldn't say nothing to these people. Yeah. So Elizabeth Jasso, it looks like Liz, well, it's been confirmed by ABC News that Liz was actually, she was faking her pregnancy. And it's very unfortunate to see Jasso. Thank you. Sorry. I knew the J was silent, but I wasn't sure. And look, I actually, look, let me say this real quick. I actually Googled how to say that, and it said Jasso, so I was just going by that. But anyway, so it looks like Liz was faking a pregnancy. She actually called authorities yesterday in Baytown, let them know that she was okay. She called them yesterday at 1 p.m. and let them know that she was fine and that she was never pregnant. The vehicle that she was traveling in, it actually belonged to the deceased husband, and that vehicle was in Louisiana. It was somewhere near me. Don't know where, but they're supposed to be picking the vehicle up. Elizabeth has not been in touch with the family to at least apologize for what happened. They actually deactivated Milko's Facebook because she kept tagging him in things, so they actually deactivated the Facebook, and they're really waiting and wanting for her to, speak with them and see why she would do something like this. Again, I'll give you my sentiments on this. I feel like she did this because she started this back in December. So let me give you some pretext here. She started this back in December because actually on Milko's Facebook page, you saw where he posted the ultrasounds. Okay, that was an ultrasound that was bought from a previous website. Everybody really thought she was pregnant. Everybody in the family thought that she was pregnant, and he did too. And you can see on her Instagram page when he was rubbing her belly, he thought that she was pregnant. So this man died thinking that this woman was having a baby for him. There's actually they had a huge baby shower. They were excited about the birth. She was living with his mother because she was so excited about the birth. And this man has a daughter. He doesn't have a son. So we know how some people feel about, carrying on the name, about their sons. They're able to carry on the names. Daughters can't carry on the names, but sons can, so they were all excited about it. And now they're having to mourn they're still mourning the death of the son, and then they're also mourning, the loss of these pretend twins. There's actually a condition, I think it's called pseudo something or whatever, pseudopsychosis, where women that want to be pregnant, they will appear pregnant, because if you saw, she looked pregnant. And beforehand, she was not a smaller girl, but she was not as big as she is. So maybe she had pseudopsychosis where she actually internalized and thought that she was having a baby. And that's why her belly kind of took that form. She actually showed some video of her stomach moving up and down. I don't know if that was food or what, but she did, show that. So maybe she did think she was pregnant. I think that she needs to get some help. She needs to speak to someone. She needs to speak with the family, try to explain why she did this. Who knows why? Like I said, maybe when when her husband died, she thought that, she was getting all this attention from the family, and she just thought maybe, I'll just keep going with this and then eventually I'll lose it. But she couldn't lose it because it'd be too far along. They have to have when you get so far along in a pregnancy, I believe it's beyond like 15 weeks, you have to do a burial for the child. So there was really no way out of that. I really don't know what her end game was, but thankfully, let's just be thankful that she didn't find or befriend another woman that was pregnant with twins and are pregnant with a child and tried to take those children, because we know that does happen. Women, whenever they have to fulfill this lie that they have, they will go and do something like this. This just happened back in last year with a girl in Texas, New Boston, Texas. She was actually killed. Her name was Reagan. She was actually killed by another girl that was pretending to be pregnant. They were friends. And people believe that she befriended her under the hoax of actually stealing her child because she knew she was pregnant, knew she couldn't get pregnant. And it's a sad story. That girl's been charged with first-degree murder, and her trial is still pending. She's actually facing the death penalty in that case. The child died and the mother died. She cut the baby from the stomach. She took the baby, tried to pretend the baby was hers. She got pulled over by the cops. She stuffed the child's umbilical cord and the afterbirth in her pants. The baby was only 7 months along. She was only 7 months pregnant. and the baby died. And when she got to the hospital, they were like, you didn't give birth, you know. So that's what happened with that. So I hope that she gets the help I hope that this girl gets the help that she needs so she doesn't do something like this again. I always have a sadness for people who can't have children that are infertile, because I struggled with infertility the first part of my marriage, when we was trying to get pregnant and we could not get pregnant. And it was really hard for me. I never thought to do something like that, but it was really hard for me. And you know, I hope that she first speaks with the family, and then, or gets the help and then speaks with the family, you know, take care of herself. And thankfully she didn't find somebody's child to get. So that is my take on Elizabeth Jasso. Nothing else has came out since then. I know that you all were wanting an update on that, so I decided to do that. So if you're not wanting to hear the politics, you may exit now, because it is now time for my favorite part of the day. It's time for some politics, and I am excited because the first thing I am going to hit y'all with, baby, I don't know if y'all saw it, but we got a sake bomb on the horizon, and I am so excited for this sake bomb. Y'all check it out, and you know who she punking. Wait.
Going to have a vaccine in the next couple of weeks, next couple of months. And Joe Biden is out on the campaign trail saying, don't trust Donald Trump. Did that create any kind of vaccine hesitancy?
Not that we've seen in the data. I would note that at the time, just for context, the former president was also suggesting people inject versions of poison into their veins to cure COVID. So I think that's a relevant point.
And Joe Biden, then vice president, was saying, we got to wait until something is fully authorized, and it's still not.
Well, the FDA works on the timeline of science. At the same time, we've also seen tens of millions of people's lives saved who have gotten the vaccine. That data is clear across the country. Go ahead.
Did y'all see her face when she told his ass that the former president was telling people to inject poisons? I know y'all remember that when Frumpy Doe was telling people to inject bleach. Baby, I swear she dropped a major sake bomb. Like, tea just went everywhere, because that was a sake bomb in my tea. I was so excited to see her punk Dookie is what I call him, Dookie. I was so glad to see her do that. I love every time she does it, and it's like he never gets enough. He never gets enough. He's trying to blame President Biden for people not wanting to be vaccinated. And she told him, well, the former president was telling people to inject bleach. So, you got your lines crossed here, buddy. You need to take that energy over there to Frumpy Dump. And I must say, I fucking love it here, baby. I was excited for her, honey. Every time she drops a sake bomb, I'm here for it all day, every day. I only think she needs to make this a segment when she does her White House press conferences, and she needs to let him say what he got to say, hit a sake bomb, and somebody just hit him with the truth, and then somebody just need to play a bomb in the air. Sake bomb sake bomb ignited. I would love it here. That was great. So I want to start y'all off with something funny before we get into the next part of it. And I thought that was hilarious. And y'all know if I was really doing my TikToks, I would have definitely posted that sake bomb. I was so excited when she hit him with the reel. I mean, come on now. Your president was telling people to inject bleach, and he was serious. He wasn't playing. So let's get into House Democrats in Texas. So in Texas, the House Democrats, over the week, I'm going to start this from the beginning. So over the weekend, there was a special election called by Greg Applehead Abbott. Applehead Abbott called a special session so they can come back in and vote on these voter suppression bills. The Democrats were due back in Texas. Now, I will tell you this, that some Democrats are already in Texas. Some of them aren't still in Washington. Some of them are in Texas. They're just not reporting to the House chambers. So he called this special session. Nobody shows up. They couldn't do it because nobody shows up, right? So they had to adjourn until Monday. When they adjourned on Monday, the Democrats, Texas House Democrats came out and said they are not coming back. They will not come back. So this prompted the House Speaker, Mr. Dade. Every time I hate that guy. Anyway, Mr. Dade, he decides to go ahead and start issuing some warrants, but they have to vote on them. So on yesterday, they actually voted to issue warrants for the Texas Democrats. They did that on yesterday, and they the House Speaker Dade, he actually signed off on it, and they actually petitioned the court on Monday to overturn a recent ruling that blocked them from ordering the arrest of the Democrats. Now, I forgot to tell you guys that like in the middle of that, the Texas Democrats actually filed a lawsuit saying that it was unconstitutional for them to issue a warrant for their arrest for not for breaking quorum. So they actually ruled in the favor. The Travis County District Judge actually ruled in their favor, but the Supreme Court has overturned that, and the Supreme Court of Texas, they actually issued a statement saying that a ruling that said the Texas Democrats is a dangerous attempt by the Texas Democrats to undermine our Constitution and avoid doing their job that they're elected to do. We look forward to the Supreme Court upholding the rule of law and stopping another stale tactic by the Texas Democrats. So the Texas Supreme Court has ordered for those warrants to go out. And from all accounts, those warrants have been issued to the Texas House. So the Texas Democrats have came out and issued a statement and said that it's no surprise that Republican Governor Greg Abbott and House Speaker Dade Phelan want to arrest their political opponents. Thankfully, this is still the United States of America. We will defend the freedom to vote, and we look forward to our temporary injunction hearing on August 20th. So they're not coming back. They're going to stay away. They're not coming back. And another representative, I wanted to note this. Her name is Celia Israel. She said, "There's no way in hell I'm going to the House floor while I've got protection of the judge's order." So, yeah, that's what's going on with the Texas Dems. I am watching this situation very closely, and I think that you all should watch this situation very closely, because this can be a model for how other states like Georgia, Arkansas, all of those states that are trying to impose these restrictive voter suppression laws, they can definitely try to do what the Texas Democrats are doing if it is successful. Right now, it's just a stall tactic, because Applehead Abbott is going to continue to push these special elections. There's no way that he's going to stop. Every time it gets close to the end of it, he's going to issue another special election. So they're going to get to the floor some way, somehow, unless the Democrats are successful in their lawsuits that they've been filing. But right now, it looks like they're not, because there's actual warrants. And the warrants are not, I want to clarify this, the warrants are not to arrest them. The warrants are actually to bring them to the House floor so they can do their job. And I will tell you this, that another Democrat last month, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, I wish I could remember, he actually came back to Texas, and they had him to where he had to report to the House every day and let them know his every move. Like, let them know when he's going to lunch, let them know when he's going to hell. They might have had him let him know when he was going to piss and shit. I don't know. But he had to report his every move. So he left and went back to Washington, and Dade Phelan actually issued a warrant for his arrest, but he was never arrested. Which I wouldn't really call it an arrest. To me, it sounds like kidnapping, but I digress. So, yeah, so that's what's going on with the Texas Democrats. So we'll switch over to something here. Yeah, that is creepy, Millertown. Thank you for being here. That is creepy. It is very creepy that they're allowed to do something like this, because I did not think that something like that would be allowed. Okay, so let's move on to our next subject, which would be a school district and school districts. And this is good news. Well, to people who, this is good news to my players, I know. School districts in San Francisco, Oakland, Sacramento, Long Beach, Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I skipped the page. So California is the first state to to require their teachers and faculty members to be vaccinated, or they will have to get tested every other day. I believe it was get tested for COVID. That they are the first school district to do something like that. Actually, school districts in San Francisco, Oakland, Sacramento, Long Beach have already implemented such a measure. The state's largest school district, Los Angeles, has also required weekly COVID testing, but stopped short of mandating educators to do so. Dr. Fauci is in favor of this and has voiced his support mandating teachers to be vaccinated. So that is a win on the vaccination front, that California is the first state to mandate teachers be vaccinated and members of the faculty be vaccinated, or they will have to be tested on a weekly basis. And who wants to do that weekly? I know I wouldn't want to do it. So that is a good thing. Let me see if I can look at some of y'all's comments real quick. So I think that's a really good thing, you guys. And I think that other places should definitely follow suit when it comes down to something like that. I don't understand what the hesitancy with teachers being vaccinated, especially all of these states that don't want their students to wear masks. Speaking of mask mandates and what's going on with mask mandates, we will discuss here really quickly what is going on in Florida. You guys are going to love this. So in Florida, the COVID cases are just going crazy. They're actually in places don't have hospital beds. In places they don't have hospital beds for the sickly, and it turns out that they don't have ventilators as well. And the Department of Health has actually requested, I believe it was 300 ventilators. Ron Desantis said this when asked about it.
They're at their wits' end. They say they don't have the resources.
Well, so I would push back on that too. We're in contact. Our ACA secretary, in fact, she's met with all the hospitals here.
Why are you asking for 300 respirators?
I'm not. I didn't ask. I don't know. I did not know about that. So I've not heard about that. So I have to check to see whether that's true or not. We have. I mean, I would honestly doubt that that's true, but I'll look.
My mother always told me, if you start stuttering a whole lot, your ass is lying. There is no way in hell that the Department of Health requests 300 ventilators. You guys are so swamped with COVID. You're not encouraging people to get vaccinated. You don't want kids having to wear masks in schools, and you're requesting ventilators, and you mean to tell me that you don't know about it? Come on, Desantis. Ain't no way in hell that he didn't know about that. It is no way in hell that he didn't know about that. You guys, the amount of Florida's highest rate of hospitalizations right now, roughly 70 out of every 100,000 residents have been admitted to the hospital for COVID. And this man gonna sit up here and try to tell us that he didn't know that they was asking for ventilators? If you don't know, then you're incompetent. If you don't know, you're incompetent. It is completely disgusting that he's trying to frame ignorance when it comes down to this, because he wants to downplay what's actually going on in that state, which is a hot boo-boo shitty mess. And the same thing with Texas, and the same thing in Louisiana. Thankfully, the people in Louisiana are actually going and getting vaccinated. They are trying, but shit, is it a little too late? They've already spreaded it all over the daggone place. So he says he doesn't know. I never heard of such. You're a bold-faced lie. You know, you just don't want them to say anything about it. You don't want it to be on the news because you know you're full of shit and you're full of bullshit. It's just completely disgusting. So even though Ron DeSantis, I'm sorry, y'all. even though Ron DeSantis has issued bans on masks in schools, and they're actually threatening to take away people's school funding because of it. He actually wants to take away the salaries of school board members and superintendents who actually defy his mask mandate. Even though he's threatening to do that, Broward County has defied it and said, you know what, we're just going to have to hire an attorney, outside legal counsel, to help challenge DeSantis' executive orders. Now, let me tell you the backstory on that. So Broward County actually put in a mask mandate. I think it was about a week ago. They instituted a mask mandate. DeSantis found out about it the next day and issued a statement and said that anybody that defies, any school district, public school district that defies the mask mandate, they will take away their funding. They will take away their funding. So this school is still discussing it and having votes. And he comes out and he says, yesterday he came out and said, well, we'll just take away the school board members' money, and we'll take away the superintendent money of anybody who defies the mask mandates mask mandate bans. So Broward County has actually said, fuck you, we're going to do what we can for our students, and we're going to go ahead and mandate, do mask, and we're just going to get an attorney and have them deal with you. And I believe that they will win, because I believe it was the state of Arkansas who the judge has ruled against them in saying that it's a threat to public health for you to ban schools from having a mask mandate. So if they file a lawsuit, they'll win. And I believe they have a lawsuit on the table right now. So yeah, so that right there is going on as well with COVID. Only thing I can tell you guys, and I say this every time I have my show, but I'm going to say it again. If you are not vaccinated, I encourage you to get vaccinated. If you're going out in public, I encourage you to stay to social distance and also wear your mask. I also encourage you to try to educate people on the vaccine. Try to educate people on the importance of wearing masks, mask and vaccines. That's what I encourage you to do, because at this point, President Biden has appealing to people. Many states have put in incentives for people to get vaccinated. Jobs are putting in incentives for people to get vaccinated, like Amazon, and they're still not getting vaccinated. So that's what's going on there. So now we were moved over to, I'm sorry, y'all. Let me go to Texas, because I had to give you an update on Texas, poo-poos. Let me get to my paper here, because that was one I wanted to tell you about. I hope y'all don't mind me shuffling through these papers, because I wrote it down. There it is. Okay. So in San Antonio, wins against DeSantis. Wins against Applehead Abbott. San Antonio actually won a ruling by the district court judge that says that the state cannot have use their emergency powers to ban masks. So there is a win for Texas. So San Antonio plans to put in a mask mandate. They said that Applehead Abbott does not have the power to ban masks. So they're actually going to have a mask mandate in that place. I didn't think that it was legal for him to sign an executive order saying that people can't institute masks, but they're saying that he's using his emergency powers to do so, and that doesn't allow to do that. In fact, it puts public health in jeopardy. So there's a win in Texas. And their COVID cases are skyrocketing, so that's good for the children. I really love that. So let's go over to infrastructure, and that's going to be the last thing we're going to talk about today. Of course, we know on Monday the Senate has passed the infrastructure deal. I was very happy to see that happened, and that is the $1 trillion infrastructure deal that was passed. Very good news there. That has money for roads, that has money for bridges, it has money to expand broadband. So much more. It has money in there. It's about $500 billion allotted for that, which I'm going to tell you that this is a good thing for not only the cities, but this is also a good thing for the economy. The reason why I tell you it's a good thing for the economy, because this is going to generate jobs. They're going to need somebody to go out there and work on those roads. They're going to need somebody to work on expanding broadband. So they're going to taking this money and putting it back into infrastructure is going to also stimulate the economy, which is always a good thing. So I am happy to hear that. But Nancy Pelosi has spoken, and I told y'all the other day that she has spoken. So Nancy Pelosi has came out and said, she actually came out today, but she had already said this. I already knew it. Nancy Pelosi came out and said that she will not bring the amended $1 trillion infrastructure deal down to the floor unless the Senate passes the $3.5 trillion budget reconciliation, which is for infrastructure as well. And this is where they're going to do the human infrastructure. They're going to invest in housing and food programs for kids, for schools and different things like that. This is where they're going to do what the progressives like to call the human infrastructure. So Nancy Pelosi said she will not bring that to the House floor without the Senate passing the $3.5 billion infrastructure deal first, budget reconciliation bill. So Nancy Pelosi is definitely putting her foot down when it comes down to that. And I must say, I am impressed that she's holding on to that. Bernie Sanders is impressed. He agrees with her. Also, most of the progressives agree with her, but the moderates do not agree with her. They want her to go ahead and pass. But I think that it is a good I think that is good. I think it's a good strategy. And also, Chuck Schumer agrees with the strategy. So last night, they were debating the infrastructure down on the House floor, and they were doing their amendments and all this kind of stuff. So Alabama Senator Tommy Tuberville thought he was going to get one over on the Democrats. Child, I don't know why he thought that, honey, because Cory Booker was in the room. And I want to show y'all exactly what happened, honey, when he thought he was going to fuck around with the fuck around, and he fucked around and found out when it comes down to defunding the police. Check this out.
Amendment 3113, and ask that it be reported by the number.
The clerk will report.
Senator from Alabama, Mr. Tuberville proposes amendment number 3113.
Thank you very much. Believe it or not, people back home actually listen sometimes to what we say here. To some local leaders across the country, the far left rally cry of defund the police is not just a DC rhetoric, they're actually acting on it. More than 80% of law enforcement in America is conducted by state and local police departments. 80%. These men and women are community heroes. We should invest in all of them. But local leaders across the country have decided the woke thing to do is cancel their city's police force. My amendment is pretty simple. If your city council wants to defund their police, don't expect the federal government to make up the difference. The American taxpayers in Alabama have to pick up the tab for local leaders in Oregon and Minnesota who value the woke defund the police movement over their own community safety. I call on my colleagues to support our law enforcement by voting yes for this amendment. Opposing my amendment is a vote in support of defunding the police and against the men and women in blue.
The gentleman's time has expired.
Madam President.
Senator from New Jersey.
I am so excited. This is perhaps the highlight of this long and painful and torturous night. This is a gift. If it wasn't complete abdication of Senate procedures and esteem, I would walk over there and hug my colleague from Alabama. And I will tell you right now, thank God, because there's some people who have said that they're members of this deliberative body that want to defund the police, to my horror. And now this senator has given us the gift that finally, once and for all, we can put to bed this scurrilous accusation that somebody in this great esteemed body would want to defund the police. So let all of us, 100 people, not walk, but sashay down there and vote for this amendment and put to rest the lies. And I am sure I will see no political ads attacking anybody here over defund the police. And I would ask unanimous consent to add something else to this obvious bill, can we add also that every senator here wants to defund the police, believes in God, country, and apple pie? Thank you.
The question is on the amendment.
Ask for the yeas and nays.
Is there a sufficient second? There appears to be. The clerk will call the roll.
Ms. Baldwin.
Not sachet, y'all. He said sachet. Look, if he had said scurry, I would have swore up and down that his ass be watching my damn TikToks because scurry is all me, okay? But he said sachet, so I'm about to go ahead and steal it. He said sachet. Let's go ahead and sachet our asshole down there and do this voice vote because we're not in favor of defunding the police. We're just in favor of taking that money and putting it over to good use. He actually punked the shit out of him because he was like, we've been telling y'all this for months and months and months. It's not that we're in favor of defunding the police. We just want to take some of that money and put it over to other things. There's nothing wrong with that. Hunty, when he said apple pie, I almost peed on myself. Look, I had to clutch my invisible damn pearls. I said, look at Cory Booker. But if he had said sachet, I would have known for a fact that he watches my damn TikToks. Excuse me, if he had said scurry, I would have knew for a fact he watches my damn TikToks. Y'all, I declare, that was so good. The way it was a complete performance. It was a performance. I loved it, and I was happy about it. I want to know what you all think, because Tommy Tuberville thought he did something and he really didn't do shit, and Cory Booker let him have it, and I fucking loved it in a nice nasty way. I liked it. Very what's the word I'm thinking of? Very sarcastic. I like that. There's some breaking news that I have to tell you guys really quick regarding, because I think someone put it in the comments, and also my CB is letting me know that I need to tell you all, so I will. I just took screenshots of it. The FDA, this is breaking news. This just came out. The FDA is poised to okay a third vaccine dose for immune compromised people. So it looks like the FDA is poised to amend the emergency use of authorizations for Pfizer and Moderna vaccines Thursday to allow people that are immune compromised to get a third dose of the vaccine. The move will come after a panel of advisors for the Center of Disease Control and Prevention met in July and urged actions on extra doses for immune compromised adults. So yeah, that is on the horizon right now. I already knew there would be some booster shots somewhere, but I wasn't sure, when it would come. But it's going to go to the immune compromise. Apparently, it's going to go for the immune compromised people first. So people who have who've had cancer, chemo, different things like that. Yes, Maryland, a third dose of the vaccine. I'm wondering. It didn't say in the ad in the article, if it's like a booster, will it be a lower dose or what? I'm not sure. All I know is I hope my doctor don't call me to get it, because I really don't want to get it. I'm telling you, I was sick as a dog with that second dose. I'll do it, but I'm gonna be hesitant, and I'm gonna take off work this time. The last time I didn't take off work, I'm gonna take off work this time, because I'm telling you, some people I don't want to scare anybody from getting the vaccine. Some people who took it did not have as much trouble as I did, but some people who took it, they was on their ass, and I was one of them. I never call into work, and I called into work that day. So players, I really hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Tea Talk. I really, really hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Tea Talk. I'm going to try to do this when my children are not home, whenever I have some important things I want to say, because I'm evidently not, I don't know if I'm getting my account back. It's been I haven't heard anything from anybody regarding my account. I've been emailing, I've been tweeting, different things like that, and I haven't heard anything, so I don't know if I'm going to get my account back. But I really appreciate you guys coming over here and supporting me and watching this special episode of Tea Talk during the day. I'm going to try to do these things while my children are not home, so that way I can really give you guys my attention, because when my kids are back there, I'm really afraid that they're going to start waking up. But I really appreciate y'all for coming. I hope y'all enjoyed this episode of Tea Time with Double D. And if you have not, make sure you like the video, and make sure if you're here from Facebook, because a lot of you are, if you're here from Facebook, please go over to my YouTube page and like this video. Also, make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube. Also, make sure you're following my backup account. If you're not following my backup account, also make sure you're following my Instagram and all of that. Really appreciate y'all for coming. I really had a good time with y'all, and I hope y'all have a good day. Love y'all so much. All of y'all saying y'all love me. I know y'all do, because if you love me, you're bugging the hell out of them to give me my damn account back. Love y'all so much. Y'all take care and have a precious one. Bye.